What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of FTB Infinity on the HermitCraft server. So guys, last episode we were messing around with some IC2 stuff. Like, we made a bunch of machines over here, and by the time we were all done, we had to make yet more machines. So, we're gonna continue on with that today. Yep, it's gonna be a lot of fun-filled action making IC2 machines today. So we did make a scanner last episode, we made a compressor, we made a canning machine, and we made a metal former. Yes, I can make wires with the metal former. You guys pointed that out to me in the comments. I wasn't really thinking about that, but I would have to set up like all the auto crafting and things like that for the metal former to actually do that. And to me, it's just easier to have these patterns in the AE2 system with the wire cutter and the forge hammer and all this stuff, where it can make these wires for me just using those items. So yeah, you can do the metal former that way, but we're at a point in the game where resources really don't matter. We have like over 1 million gold, or yeah, over 1 million iron, I mean. So what I want to do, I want to continue on with this. So we made the scanner. We have to make a few more machines. We have to make a pattern storage. We have to make a replicator. We have to make the crystal memory, I think is what that thing was called. Yeah, this required the pulverized obsidian and the silicon dioxide. And the silicon dioxide, we needed to make a thermal centrifuge. I think this is the next machine we're gonna make. And we also had to make a pulverizer, I believe, or not, a macerator. I'm trying to get all these words right. We have to make a macerator for macerating clay into clay dust that we put into the thermal centrifuge. Let's look at the thermal centrifuge first. I haven't looked at this thing yet. Oh, what is this thing? Mining laser. How do you make a mining laser? Okay, so we need the advanced circuit. We got that already set. Advanced alloys, we already have these patterns done. Iron turning blank and an energy crystal. So we need to make energium dust, which is redstone and diamond dust. And diamond dust we make in a macerator or a pulverizer, it looks like. Wait, what? I thought I put another diamond ore in a pulverizer before and it made diamonds. I'm not sure, but I think we're gonna end up making that macerator. We have to make a macerator for a couple of things. So thermal centrifuge, we'll do macerator 2. Let's see. So the macerator is exceptionally easy to craft. I think I'm gonna make a pattern for this. So we'll make the basic machine casing. Go and craft one of those up, and I should be able to. Well, I might have to make that circuit too. So we'll go ahead and craft up one of these electric circuits as well, or electronic circuits? Electronic. Stick that guy right there, and there's our pattern for a macerator. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and add that to our collection down here of our different IC2 machines that we've made. So we can request a macerator now. And we have a macerator. Perfect. So we can add that to our little bank of machines over here. We'll start getting some things macerating. I need another one of those red net cables. I'll just keep a few. Whoops. I'll just keep a few on me, so I'm sure we'll be making more machines that's going to need power. So I'm also going to remove these upgrades from that machine. We'll stick them over here. So we want the transformer upgrade, the power upgrade, and the overclocker upgrade, so things happen a little bit faster. We wanted to macerate, what was it, diamonds? Maybe diamond block would go faster. I'm not really sure how many we need. Let me just try doing 6. Oh, I can't put diamond blocks in there. Okay, I was thinking we could do that a little bit quicker that way. So let me just do like a stack of diamonds, or actually we have another diamond ore. Is that gonna work? There we go. Okay, so that'll be the best way of doing this, I think. Let's put all those raw diamonds away. Diamond dust, yeah, and this goes rather quickly, actually. I can probably get some more overclocker upgrades in here. It seems to be holding fine on the power. This is not going down. Alright. So we could automate this. Yeah, I don't think we're going to. This is gonna be pretty quick anyway. We're almost done with that stack. We got plenty of this diamond dust that we can use in the future. And done. Okay, perfect. So we will put that over here. So the thermal centrifuge required the mining laser, which required the energy crystal, which is this and this. Okay, so let's make that pattern real quick. Whoop, did not right click. All right, I thought I didn't right click, but I did. So we'll go in here and make this pattern. Nice. Okay, so 9 of those, and we need 9 of those to make an energy crystal. Okay, so let's put this pattern away. We'll add this to our different recipes down here. So this is Iridium dust. Iridium dust, and we will make 9 of those. Actually, I should make 18. So we might need another one. I don't know. Compressor, let's get that compressing. Okay, so I'll take a minute since I don't have the upgrades. I should make more upgrades for all these different machines. Okay, so now that that's going, we have that, we have this. I guess we're just going to need to find out, oh, we need a turning table. So what does a turning table look like? Turning table, shaft iron, so that's a new recipe. I think I have the iron casing. Okay, so we just put a block of iron. That actually isn't too bad. Let's just make a stack of those since we have all of the iron. Now, was that on the rolling setting? Did that say this has to be on extruding? Cutting, extruding. Go put a block in there. I'm gonna steal these upgrades just to make this go faster, obviously. That. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna go real quick. Looks like we are running low on power. Maybe too many overclocker upgrades for this particular machine. I don't know. How's the power doing? It's still like down there at the very bottom. We want to see the power rising up in these IC2 machines or staying steady. Otherwise, yeah, it just goes a little bit slower. Okay, so now that that's done, we'll make our turning table. So let's grab some of these. Yeah, this IC2 stuff is crazy. There's just like so many recipes that you have to do. Iron item. Let's go and just craft one of those so we can make our pattern. What else do we need? The basic. Basic right here. Next, start. All right. And, oh, what are we missing now? Oh, the iron plates. Okay. Iron plate. We'll make one of those as well. Next, start. So now we can make our pattern for the turning table. So that's yet another IC2 machine that we'll put down here in our IC2 machine section. Okay, we'll put all this stuff away and let's make a turning table. I have no idea how these things work or what they look like or any of that stuff. Pretty much kind of discovering this as we go. I don't know if this even requires power. It really didn't look like it did. Okay, so how does a turning table work? I don't know. Let's look back at the thermal centrifuge and let's look at this thing. Iron turning blank. Lathing tool. Okay. So let's add an iron turning blank. Iron turning blank. Iron item casing, okay. So we can make one of those and we can make a pattern. I don't really know if we're gonna need more than one of these things. We might as well just make a pattern for it just so we never have to craft it again. With all this IC2 stuff, it seems like a lot of these recipes are used more than once in different things, so might as well just make all these things. So an iron turning blank. And next, oh, I am missing an, what? So an iron turning blank requires an iron turning blank? That seems weird. Is that what I did over here? So I can just craft it. Did I make that pattern wrong? Let's look at this real quick. With one iron item casing on 2 iron ingots. So why is that giving me an error? I don't know. That is really odd. I'm gonna try crafting another one, see if it does that again. Yeah, it won't let me craft that for some reason. I don't understand why that is not working. Okay, whatever. Let's just put... Maybe I'm doing something wrong. You guys can tell me in the comments if that's not right. Okay, so now we got a bunch of stuff here. So thermal centrifuge, if we go back to this thing, so 43222. This won't let me do anything here. Okay, so we need to add more things into this interface. I can only assume lathing tool. How do you make a lathing tool? Gonna get rid of that one. Okay, so iron item casing and a refined iron. Okay, refined. We have all of that stuff, so I should just be able to make a pattern. So a lathing tool, we'll add that over here as well. Right next to the other broken one. I can't craft that, alright. We will just do this. Next, start. And got it. Okay, so lathing tool here. So it was, I can't remember, 43222? Was that what it was? 43222. Okay, so if I click. Shift click. There was also a tiny pile of something down there. Does this thing have to have power? Is that the problem? I didn't see a little thunderbolt icon in here. Oh man. Okay, so we're still learning this as we go. I haven't used IC2 since probably Feed the Beast Ultimate. It's been a long time, so not exactly sure. So this is tiny pile of iron dust. I assume we'll be getting that from lathing, but I'm not seeing anything happen here. Alright guys, so I looked up on the interwebs on what we need to do with the turning table. I really wish more mods would have like a book or something to like kind of give you an idea, maybe a tooltip, or hey, you need to power this way. What we need is an electric kinetic generator to power the turning table, which makes sense. Kinetic energy will turn it and things will happen, whatever, but there's no indication that we need that without me looking that up. So electric motor, that, and the RE battery. We actually should have all of this stuff ready to go. We can just do this and make a pattern. Again, I don't know if we're ever going to need another electric kinetic generator. I suppose we could if I ever break one accidentally. I don't know if you break the IC2 machines these days, if they turn into the basic machine casing. I know they used to back in the day, which was a real pain, but there we go. Electric kinetic generator. All right, I didn't know that there was another power type in IC2, but now I know. So the electric kinetic generator should just craft real quick, actually, since we have all the smaller parts made. There we go. So I assume this just takes EU like all the other machines. I don't know if I have to face this a certain way. It kind of feels like it is not facing the right way. I don't know. But we will just go ahead and wrap some power over to this machine. Like so. Okay, so this now has energy. Add motors to increase KU output. Okay, well at least this has a tooltip of some kind. So if I click this, what happens? Nothing. Okay, do I have to add the motors then? Add motors to increase KU output. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and make a few of these motors. I don't know, let's make 10 of them. Seems like they're using a few recipes anyway, so I don't think it'll hurt to have a couple extra on hand. It'll make making patterns in the future easier. Let's just grab like 7 of those and see what happens. Motor, 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 motor. Okay, so yeah, 700 out of that. We'll just put in the full 10 of those. Okay, so now what's going on over here? If I click, I kind of feel like this machine is in the wrong spot. Like maybe it has to be against this fan or something. Kind of feels like these dotted things are the power inputs. So let me grab a wrench. Let me take this stuff out. That still says blank, right? Yep, okay. So let's shift right click. I can't shift right click this. I'm gonna do it. Dang it. I was afraid of that. Okay, so I gotta figure out what the wrench is that'll actually make that thing. Let's make a lathing. L-A-T-H. No, that was a... What was that machine called? Turning table. Next. Start. Okay. So IC2 still does that pain in the butt thing. Where if you break it with the wrong tool... Oh, there we go. Okay, so 4, 3, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Did it, and there's some tiny pile of iron dust. So there is this item. Oh my goodness. So let's see. That was going to go into our thermal centrifuge, into the mining laser. I don't know if there's a way we're going to be able to automate that, to be honest. So there's that. Advanced circuit, energy crystal. Our energy crystal should be done over here. I am just going to make a pattern for this, even though this might be silly. I feel like mining lasers are going to be used in other things. At least this will give us an idea. Oh, can I not make a pattern? Mining laser, whoops. Mining laser, shift, click. I'm on the right thing, but nothing's happening. Maybe I just don't have any of those items. Okay, so energy crystal, advanced alloys. Let's just make the pattern manually and see what happens. We'll stick that there, this here. What else do we need for that thing? Keep clicking on the wrong one. So redstone, and then advanced circuit. Advanced circuit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Are we running low on rubber? Oh, man. Oh, no. Okay. I think I'm going to have to set up like a rubber farm or something. Now, there used to be a way we could get rubber out of this wood. Uses. Can we still like put it into an extractor or something? Oh, yeah. We could put it into an extractor. So that might be another machine that we make here. All right, I'm going to make an extractor so we can get these black rubber balls. And hopefully that will... help us get a little bit more rubber, but I think we're gonna have to set up a rubber farm here pretty soon. All right, guys, let me make another break, another cut in the video, and we'll be back. All right, guys, so instead of setting up a rubber farm and making an extractor and all that stuff right now, I thought we'd take a break and do something a little bit more fun. So we're looking at Tinker's tools for a moment here, and I am making myself an actual decent one. The one that I've been using for the longest time is still the original one I made, like 50 episodes ago or whatever, just out of cobblestone and paper, everything. This works, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just not that great. It has very low durability. The mining speed's okay, but what I want to look at is making one of these out of manulin, and then I was also using some thermic stuff so we can keep durability and add modifiers. Also mining speed, because I think paper hurts the mining speed. So what I was looking at, so if we put this whole thing as manulin, so manulin everything, we have a durability of 16,000, almost 17,000. The durability really doesn't matter, because we can put on a resonant flux capacitor or a redstone or whatever, and just use RF to keep the durability up. What I do want to keep in mind is like the mining speed. But I do know you have to have a certain amount of durability put on the higher flux capacitors, so kind of a trade-off. So I was swapping out these different parts to see what happens. So if I swap out the handle, that doesn't affect the mining speed, it does affect the durability, and we do get an extra modifier. If I do the same thing on the tough binding, the mining speed is still 3.6, we gain... Actually, why does that not gain another modifier? I thought having one of those would gain a modifier for each one. Maybe I am incorrect. Okay, well, that's something that I just noticed. So if we put thermic large plate instead of the manulin plate, we go from 3.6 mining speed to 3.2. So that's something else that's interesting. So maybe it's like you can only have one thermic will add a modifier and one paper will add a modifier. That's something I actually didn't even know. So let's try and make a paper something or other. maybe a paper large binding. Let's do this and that. Make one of these. Or it could be this display is wrong. I thought every piece of like thaumic you added an additional modifier. Maybe not. Maybe not. So 3.6, if I put that on there, it still keeps it as 3.6. We do gain an additional modifier according to this screen, and our durability goes down even more. I want to keep the highest durability possible, so I might try swapping out the thaumic tough rod. Let's see, do we have any extra books around here? No. Okay, so let's go back to our base real quick. Let's grab paper. Yeah, we'll just do this. Because I want to try and find out the best way to make this thing. I want the highest durability so we can put the best flux capacitor on there as well. So we were going to make a tough rod. Let's do that with this. And there's that guy. Okay, so we swap back over here. So manulin, and thaumic. So let's go back to our baseline. Okay, so 3.6 with 16,000. So if we put that on there, that drops us down to 9,000. And if we swap this to here, so 5399. Now, if we do it the other way, that plus thaumic, 5399. So it doesn't really matter which way we do that. We still keep 3.6 and we have modifiers. Okay. I really don't know if this is the best way to make this tool. I really don't know. I think what I want to do, I'm going to put manulin here. We're going to keep this durability high because I want to try and get this resonant flux capacitor on here. So we're going to do one thaumic, rest manulin. Let's do this. So can I put that flux capacitor on here? That's the first thing I want to know. So I put that here, plus this guy. And it won't let me do that. So maybe I can put the redstone one on there, but not this one. Okay, let me go get all the modifiers going for our tool, and we'll be back, guys. Alright, guys, so I added a bunch of modifiers to our manulin axe. These chunks don't like to load. Yeah, I added a bunch of modifiers to our axe here, and we have the mining speed up to 17.6, which is pretty good. We still have one modifier remaining. I'm not sure if I want to switch that over to have the thing where it'll make charcoal or whatever, so I left that alone. 17.6 is still pretty good, considering our old one was like, what was that even? I can't remember. This one was mining speed of 8.6. That's pretty slow. So I was able to get the redstone flux capacitor on there, so we have 4 million RF stored on the manulin lumber axe. I was not able to put the resonant flux capacitor on there, but that's fine. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this axe turned out. So what I want to do is, we're here in the mining age, and I have a mega rubber sapling. So I want to grow one of these things. In fact, I'm going to grow it on this old mushroom. We're kind of a distance away from where we spawn into the place, so it shouldn't matter. But yeah, I want to grow one of these things, see what it looks like. So I got some bone meal here. Let's see what happens. Oh man, okay, so it's one of those trees. Wait. Oh, I think that is loaded, but F3A? Uh-oh. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's glitching me, like the blocks are there, but it just won't show it. Alright, well, let's try chopping this thing down using our lumber axe. Let's see what happens. I'm curious if this thing will reach all the way up there. Nope. So we're gonna have to do it like in the middle. It still doesn't like it. One of these places it'll see there's leaves and it'll work, I think. No, it's still not liking that. What happens if I do it here? I was really thinking, whoa, okay, things are happening. Things are happening. Lots of lag. Okay, so I think that worked. We got a bunch of rubber in our inventory. Let's go ahead and put this into our ME system at home. Yep, alright, that works. I see a bunch of saplings falling. Yeah, looks like things happened over here. So, for some reason, it wasn't working, and then it did work. So let's clean up our inventory, get all this stuff out of here so we stop making that sound from the magnet. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's a pretty quick way to get rubber. I still would like to set up some kind of a rubber farm in the future, but for now, yeah, well, that's not too bad to get some quick rubber really fast. Probably don't want to do this in the overworld. Oh man. Yeah, probably don't ever want to do that in the overworld. I bet these kind of trees cause a lot of lag and things like that. And especially with all these items around, yeah, if you chop it down, you're going to be lagging out a bunch of people around you, I would imagine. Okay, well, let me go and collect the rest of this stuff. We'll get our rubber going, and we will continue on. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Oh my goodness, guys. So my little AE2 room is becoming a mess. We're putting, like, machines everywhere. I'm kind of thinking what I want to do. Once we get all these IC2 machines figured out... Why is the sky black? I must have warped here or something. Anyway, I think what we're going to end up doing is... I was originally going to make this a liquid storage room, but since we can store all the liquids in, like, these bedrockium drums, I really don't think that's necessary. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to turn this particular room into our processing room. So we have like our ore processing room where everything from the quarry will go into this room over here. In this room, we'll macerate all the things, and then it will furnace all the things and send all the processed ores back. But I think this last room over here is going to be like all of our different machines and stuff. So for instance, all of these IC2 machines we've been making, and then this whole monstrosity that I still haven't cleaned up over here, I think we'll find a home for it in that other building. We'll put them all in their place and make them all look like they should be there. Instead of laid out all messily like this, like I'd like to get this guy all set up and then fill this whole thing back here full of storage drives eventually. We're not quite there yet, but yeah, I think moving all these machines over and like all of this IC2 stuff over is going to be the best course of action. So I got a thermal centrifuge made, and I've actually had a couple problems here. Like for instance, the laser, when you go and make one of these, like you click next, it won't even click next on it. There's something wrong with this particular recipe. It won't even go to the crafting screen to tell you what you're missing. It just says no. That also happens with the thermal centrifuge. Like if you try and auto craft this, it won't go to the crafting screen. It also just says no. Let's just make sure that everything else works. Like if I try and make a sticky piston, this goes over here just fine. So yeah, there's kind of a problem with some of these IC2 machines and AE2 auto crafting. Anyway, so I made the thermal centrifuge, and I put in there upgrades, and I put in some clay dust after I macerated that. This had to heat up to the 250. That took a little bit of time. And then this little guy goes up to show how that is processing. So anyway, we got our silicon dioxide now, and we needed this stuff to make these crystal memories. So we should probably make a pattern for this. Silicon clay dust. Did I click that wrong? Yeah, it doesn't like that, I don't think. Wait, is that... No, that's supposed to be obsidian dust, not clay dust. Didn't we look in this the other day and I had a whole bunch of obsidian? Obsidian. I thought I had a bunch of pulverized obsidian. Nope, I guess I had pulverized coal. So I forgot to pulverize our obsidian. Okay, that's not a big deal. We can just go ahead and pulverize that. I'll stick a bunch up here. How much do we have? I'll just get a bunch made up right now. That'll go over time. So now we should have our obsidian. There you go, pulverized obsidian. Like so, and there's our crystal memory. Okay, well hopefully I'll be able to craft this automatically. We're just adding to our pattern collection down here. Right, so crystal memory. We are missing 5 silicon dioxide. Oh, I never put that in the system. And next, start. Nice, so there's our crystal memory. Okay, also, I guess I can show you this. I just realized I had a bunch of clay dust in my inventory here. So yeah, we put the clay dust in here. This heats up to the temperature. So 250, and then this thing starts doing its thing. So we're supposed to cook up this crystal memory. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. So that is now processed. Yeah, and then that's our little progress bar here for the thermal centrifuge. Okay, so now we have the crystal memory. I believe we put this in a scanner. Like, do we stick it here? Do we stick it here? Okay, it goes there. So now we need iridium, and we're supposed to scan the iridium to the crystal memory. Error energy loss, right, so we don't have power. So if we connect that over here, oh man, error energy loss. So I think that is saying that it doesn't have enough power for everything. Can we put redstone? Is that a thing? Do these machines still take redstone? I know they used to back in the day. Oh yeah, so I'll use redstone. Okay. Redstone. Let's grab some of these blocks. I don't know if it'll use that. Maybe it will. Nope, it won't do the redstone blocks. Okay, that's fine. We'll do redstone to supplement some power here. I am totally fine with that. We have plenty of redstone. So that'll fill up this little guy, looks like. Yep. And that'll make this go that much faster. Okay, so I want to get this completely scanned, get our crystal memory done, and we'll be right back, guys. Okay, so it looks like the scan completed here. 120 millibuckets of UU matter, 0 EU, save. Okay, item Iridium Ore. So it looks like it deleted our Iridium. We do have Iridium Ore saved on our crystal memory, and it says it's going to use 120 millibuckets of UU matter. All right, so that's not bad. Now we gotta actually make a thing to make UU matter, and I think that's a mass fabricator. I think this is what we need. It's been a long time. So lapis lazuli dust, lots of stuff like that. All right, so I tell you what, I'm gonna make one of those. I expect that's gonna require a bunch of power, and it's gonna take a long time for it to make some stuff. So let me craft that up, and we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I made a mass fabricator. It makes all sorts of cool sounds like buzzing and the little computer sound you hear in the background or whatever. So it takes a while to progress. You can see that this percentage bar isn't going up super quickly. I'm not able to put in any overclocker. It won't let me do that. It does have a spot here for the amplifier. So I did build a recycler, and we can just put things in like cobblestone, and we will recycle those, and we will go ahead and make scrap. The scrap is what is used as an amplifier. So we can go ahead and take these guys out. You can also turn the scrap into scrap boxes. So I'll do that. But the scrap itself is an amplifier. So if we put the scrap in, see, it does a little amplifier thing, and it makes the progress bar go that much faster, which is pretty cool. So if we're gonna use a mass fabricator, we definitely want a large supply of these pieces of scrap. So we need to set up a whole bunch of recyclers and a whole bunch of items that we don't want anymore to make those. We also put the scrap boxes in there, and that works as like 9 times an amplifier. So yeah, each time it does the 100% progress, we'll watch this. It makes 1 millibucket. And in order to make the Iridium Ore, we need 120 millibuckets. So this is going super slow. It is making the UU matter, but we're gonna have to get ways to speed this up. We're gonna need those recyclers. We're gonna need to make the scrap, all of that stuff. We'll look at doing that probably the next time we mess with IC2, which might be next episode. I'm actually having kind of a bit of fun here, learning all the new mechanics of this IC2 stuff. I hope you guys are too, but that's all we got time for today. Yeah, we'll go and wrap the episode up here. If you guys have any suggestions or comments on what I should do a little bit better for IC2, let me know. The goal of this is to make solar panels, the ultimate hybrid or the top tier ones. Probably the quantum solar panels is what we want to make here, which is going to use 8 ultimate hybrid solars, and just the ultimate hybrid solar by itself requires a bunch of iridium. But yep, that's all we got time for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.